Welcome back. It's the Flow Friday Sports Show on Flow FM, and we kick off our South Australian netball coverage over on the far west coast with the Western Eyre Netball Association. Courtney Trowbridge out of action this week, our regular correspondent. So Sarah Evans, as she did last week, is stepping in to fill the gap. How's it going, Sarah?
I'm good, thank you. How are you today?
I'm well, thank you, and I'm thrilled to say that we've got an upset in the Western Eyre Netball Association A-grade grand final. Not thrilled for the Western United Tigers girls, but certainly thrilled for the Hawks, who had a heartbreaking loss in last year's grand final. And this year, after the talk of this segment all year was that there were no upsets all year other than maybe the Ceduna Blues beating Thevenard by a goal all the way back in round one. The season ends on an upset, finally. Hawks 42, Tigers 37, and the Tigers fall at the final hurdle to ruin their perfect season, but it must have been a huge celebration for the Hawks girls.
Yes, the girls looked like they were fairly excited. It was unfortunate for Westies. They'd worked hard all season, but yeah, them Hawks girls, they just, got stronger and stronger as the game went on.
Unbelievable scene. So, what was the game like? Were the Hawks in control from the get-go, or was it back and forth? Tell us about the sort of start to finish of it.
Look, Westies came out strong. I think they had even the first 4 or 5 goals on the board before Hawks scored one. They kept going though, and in the second quarter, Hawks had a change in defence. I think Rochelle went back to goalkeeper and Alana came back out. And Alana, when you give her that space on the court, she's really good and she's really clean. They rattled the goalies for Westies, and in the third quarter, Hawks had a 10-goal turnaround, and all of a sudden they were 5 goals up, and Westies just didn't catch them in the end. I just also wanted to mention in the A grade, well done to Kobe Freeman for getting best on court, an amazing accomplishment for, I think she's only 15 still, or maybe she's nearly 16, but yeah, she had a cracker game. She couldn't be stopped in that centre position. So well done, Kobe.
Well done to Kobe Freeman. She's going to be a star of the comp for many, many years to come, no doubt about that. And it was an excellent win from the Hawks. Sarah, they played a few times this year. Back in round one, the Tigers won by 23 goals, but then every other time they played, as much as the Tigers completely dominated the season, obviously not losing a game, the Hawks were right there with them in every other game. It was a 6-goal margin in round 6, 3-goal margin in round 11, 3-goal margin in the first week of finals, and then obviously the Hawks getting over the hump in the grand final. So the Hawks got plenty of chances to scout them out and figure out what they needed to do to win, and obviously they responded pretty well.
Yeah, I think I know that first round the Hawks girls had quite a few out, so that probably explained that big loss. But yeah, it was, I think Westies, their goals just weren't going in the end, and if you don't get goals, you don't win games, that's all.
That's right. It's as simple as that. In footy, they say bad kicking's bad football, and I suppose in netball, it's the same thing. If your goals are missing, you're wasting opportunities, and you're going to severely hamper your chances of winning. And like you said, round one, the Hawks had some players out, and that was all the way back on the 13th of April, a full 6 months ago. So that's ancient history, really. But the Hawks, too good on grand final day. And Sarah, what was the day like in general? I would imagine it was a pretty electric atmosphere, and what was the hospitality and all the rest of it like?
Oh, look, the grounds looked magnificent. The weather was perfect. I mean, there was food everywhere. There was people all around the court. It was a great atmosphere.
Very good stuff. Well done to the Hawks winning the A-grade premiership. It wasn't their only premiership for the day, and it also, as much as it must have hurt for the Tigers girls, it was still a pretty successful day for that netball club. They had a lot of teams in grand finals, and they did get a couple of wins. Let's go through the other grades and age groups. In the B grade, Thevenard winning the premiership over the Tigers, 54-36.
Yes, I watched that game. Thevenard had control pretty much from the start. Their goals were going through. It was pretty smooth flowing down the court. Yeah, Westies struggled a bit to get it into their goal ring. The big tall Rochelle, she was plucking off intercepts left, right and centre. So yeah, Thevenard had a really good win that game.
Very interesting one in the C grade. Hawks 36, Thevenard 35, a one-goal thriller. And if we take a look at the ladder from the end of this this grade season, it's not too surprising. Thevenard were one game behind the Hawks. They were the top two on the ladder, but Thevenard had a percentage of 165, while the Hawks was only 112, and even the Ceduna Blues in third had a much better percentage than the Hawks. So clearly this C-grade Hawks team had a knack for winning some close games, and that experience got them over the line by a single goal here on Grand Final day.
Yeah, I didn't get over to this game, but I did look over at the scoreboard, and Thevenard were winning all day. And I assume, their percentage is high with a shooter like Courtney Trowbridge in there. She doesn't miss many, and she's very, very good. So I think it was in the dying seconds that Hawks took the lead and, come away with the win.
All right, the dying seconds. What about that? And if we look to the D grade, the Western United Tigers did get a premiership in this one, 51-40 over the Hawks.
Yeah, I think, this is not unexpected with a team with Bronny and Ali and Katrina still gelling together, but Hawks did well to get so close to them, and they were close all game up until probably the last quarter, and then Westies just had that knowledge and come away with a bigger win.
Tigers beat them 2 weeks earlier in the qualifying final by 22 goals, so the Hawks obviously did a bit to close that gap and get it back to 11 and, cut that margin in half, but just not enough to get over the top. Westies go through the D-grade season, undefeated regular season and finals, and it was the same matchup in the junior A's, the Tigers and the Hawks, and the Tigers won it 47-40, and once again, it capped off a perfect season. Yeah,
I think the Hawks junior girls were very close all game. Westies, they've played together for a long time, these girls. They come away with the win in the end.
37-goal margin when they met in the qualifying final 2 weeks ago. So once again, a common theme with these Hawks teams. They have been figuring out how to close the gap on their opponents. But again, the Tigers just too good and, too much of a gap for the Hawks to overcome. In the Junior Bs, the Tigers beat the Blues 40-24. Another premiership there for the Tigers.
Yes, I think in the second semi, the Blues actually beat the Tigers to get to the grand final first. But on the day, there was just some minor errors going on in the Blues team, and I think they were rushing it, and balls kept going out of court. So, the Westies girls were just cool and calm and come away with the win.
And lucky last, but certainly not least, saving another one-goal thriller for our last one here. The Junior C's, Thevenard beating the Hawks 41-40. Hawks were top of the ladder at the end of the year, and the Hawks beat the Magpies 31-30 in the first week of finals. So these two teams clearly had a knack for playing close games, but in this one, the Magpies just that tiny little bit too good.
Look, I umpired this game in the second semi, and they've got some brilliant skills, both of these teams. And it was close then, that one goal, with Hawks coming away with the win that week. But, I didn't see this game, but I assume it was just an absolute thriller. And I know the score, it went up and down, changed directions. It was, it could have been anyone's game, that one.
All right, and that is a wrap on the Western Eyre Netball Association for 2024. Well done to all the premiers and well done to everyone that got there on Grand Final Day, even if they didn't win. It's been a fantastic season. A big thank you to you, Sarah, for filling in these last couple of weeks, and also to Courtney for being our correspondent throughout the year. And we look forward to covering the association again next season. Thanks again, Sarah. All the best to you, and enjoy the break from netball.
No worries. Thank you. I will too. You too.